I just shot a giant. He's an awesome deer.
I'm super pumped. This is just a dream.
Our hunters are back in their tree stands, and they're on the hunt for big, beautiful Alberta whitetails.
Yeah, that's the keeper. Look at the size of that thing.
Welcome to Bowzone Live. Bowzone Live is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Aventura, Annihilator, Bronc Beer, Hex, Lone Wolf Taxidermy, Lowdown Viewer, Moultrie Products, Onyx Maps, Portable Winch Co., Timber Stoves, and Wild TV Plus.
Welcome to Bowzone Live Season 5. Tom Gazzola with you inside the Wild TV studios alongside Logan Johnson. And usually when a hunter is in studio, it's a really, really good sign. It is episode 2 of Bowzone Live Season 5. We're so happy to be here as always. We're getting into the hunts now. It's going to be a busy show. We're going to touch base with Kevin Wilson. We're going to touch base with Jim Thompson. We're also going to hear from Montreal Alouettes head coach Jason Moss. So I know things didn't go well for his team, or ideally on the football field, but maybe out in the stand things are going to be going great for Jason. Great to have him on board again this year. All right, I teased it. You're here, you're smiling, you're happy. It's a good thing when you're in studio with me. Logan, give us a little bit of a snippet of what you've been up to and why you're here.
Well, this is definitely a great place to be. The weather's turning, it's starting to get cold, and I'd way rather be here hanging out with you than freezing my butt off in a tree stand.
Well, you're a great co-host. We've been doing this for 5 years now, and you're always very much providing a lot of great information. We're looking at some footage here. Is this stuff you were shooting? I'm assuming this is your work here.
Yeah, this is some preseason scouting. My year actually started off really hot, and it was done day one. I tagged out day one, so I had 90 days the rest of the season to, I don't know, help everyone else or to kind of spin my wheels. I was kind of feeling a little lost, but still having a great time.
Great shots that you were showing us there. You mentioned day one, you took care of business. Obviously, the conditions were way different day one as opposed to what we're seeing right now. Kevin Wilson also had some early season success. And like I mentioned, we're going to be hearing from him. Why do you think you got lucky? Was it strategic? Was it you noticed something? Like, what do you think led to you tagging out so quickly? Because it wasn't even a day that you were in the stand.
Yeah, no, it happened right off the bat for me, and what it was the homework and preseason scouting. I was all set up to go down south because I pulled my archery antelope draw, so that was the game plan. But I still spent a lot of time out in the woods in the bow zone, and I happened to find my target deer. He was hanging out, doing the same thing night after night. So day one, I decided to not let him go, because actually last year he disappeared on me completely out of my life. I found him 4 miles away, but I decided to make a play on him day one, and it worked out.
I know we're going to get into a deep dive on conditions, and that's important as well, but last year was kind of weird, right? Like when we compare what we're seeing right now around the bow zone to last year, what would you say to people is affecting the way these bucks are moving around?
Yeah, like it's just those mild November temperatures that are making things tough, especially when there's no snow. The deer aren't forced to kind of go to one food source, or that you can't see the tracks or anything like that. They can kind of just meander all over the place. And that makes it tough. Of course, there's some people out there still finding success. If you're in the right spot, right time, you're going to make something happen. But I think for the majority of people, it's a struggle. And I struggled all last year, so I'm really pumped that I tagged that buck early.
All right. You had a monster buck, Lucky, a couple seasons ago, which was great. And we're going to find out more about your buck. You want to give us the name as we look at the conditions right now? real quick, the name of your buck this year?
So this buck is Charlie. I've known him since 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. I have a million trail camera pictures of him. He's a great, like really cool old buck. I think he was about 8.5 this year. So he's a trophy class for sure.
We saw the dashes in front of the temperatures there. That a good sign for our hunters going forward? What would you say?
Definitely a good sign. We want to see some snow, cold front rolling in. That's when you want to be in your tree stand.
Perfect. Great timing. And in the meantime, let's go behind the bow with Logan Johnson.
Behind the Bow with Logan Johnson.
Bighorn sheep, a caribou would also be really cool. I'd say a big elk. Too windy of conditions can inhibit you from hearing. I like to hear them coming. That gives you a little bit of time to set up. I try to park a little ways away from my hunting spot, so that's not restricting me or scaring any animals away. I really like using hex. I really find that I am getting closer to animals. Kind of honing in on those key travel routes where they're walking around subdivisions, around houses. I like to key in on those. Well, I do have a lucky set of pink underwear, I've got to say. I've worn those for a few very successful hunts, and I keep those in the lineup. It is a super hard sport, hobby, way of life, however you want to word it. Just keep getting out there, try to learn a little bit every year, and it's going to happen.
Behind the Bow with Logan Johnson.
Back in studio with Logan Johnson here on Bowzone Live. Logan, you've been doing this for a long time. How do you do? You're a firefighter by day, and we've seen you over the years take down some really nice bucks. How do you balance that work, life, pleasure, passion of hunting kind of balance?
It's definitely busy. Novembers or even my summers are crazy. What I find that's really helped me over the years is just get out into the woods. Spending more time out there, I've definitely noticed my success level going up, right? Putting time in preseason scouting, kind of following the deer movements, trying to learn with the weather patterns or the topography and how all those variables can change what a deer does or where a deer goes. Lots of time in, so this time of year I'm all over the map.
You've had some great bucks, like I said. You got them on camera, we've discussed them, we've witnessed it over the years, but can you recollect your first buck and how that all went down? How long ago was that?
Well, my first deer was probably around 2003, 2004. I didn't shoot a buck right away. That was a couple years later. It was just a little guy.
Okay.
But definitely the first deer I remember like it was yesterday. That was a big trophy doe, and honestly one of the most memorable hunts for sure.
What about your first whitetail?
Yeah, that was it. Definitely.
Oh, that was, okay, yeah, my bad.
2003.
Back in 2003, great year, I will say. All right, let's take a look at what Logan's been doing this year on Bowzone Live.
Well, it's opening day up here in Alberta, and it is smoking hot outside. It's plus 31 degrees Celsius. I should almost go into the tree stand in my swimsuit, but no one wants to see that. Well, I'm after a big deer. I call Charlie. He's been out feeding there for the past couple nights. He was 40 yards away from my tree stand, and that's the spot I'm gonna sit. The wind is good. And I'm just crossing my fingers. One, I survived the heat, and two, if I get a shot at that bruiser, that would be super cool.
It's hot up here, but we're ready to go.
Finally getting a little cool breeze. Wind is perfect. Game time. Wow, the coast is clear. Shot felt great, but I think I hit a little bit back. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes, but from what I saw, his reaction and when he went up over the hill, I think we're gonna get him, but it might take, I might give it a couple extra hours just to be sure. Wow, what a dream if I could wrap this up on day one. That'd be pretty cool. I've never done that before.
Well, here's my opening day buck. I'm super pumped. This is just a dream. Never thought in a million years that I'd be tagged out on day one. I call this buck Charlie. I've known him since 2018, I believe, or 2019. He's 8 years old, and what a tremendous trophy. Like, look at the mass all the way through. He's always had a funky left side. He's just awesome. Was my target buck this year, and I've been watching him for almost a week straight, doing the same thing, and sure enough, snuck in here on a plus 32 degrees Celsius day. It was hot and sweaty up in that tree stand, but just when it started to cool down a little bit, all the deer started coming out of the woodwork. And this guy was with him. Man, I love when all the homework pays off. How awesome is this? We got him.
Well, there you have it. Logan Johnson wasting no time this season tagging out. That was your buck. Charlie, just some final thoughts on what we saw in this year's hunt.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it all came together so fast. I'm trying to remember it all the way back to September 1st already, but it was definitely a tough shot. It was out there a little farther than I'd usually like to, but I felt comfortable. Definitely made a lethal kill. And I'm just so happy to wrap up that story because I've known that deer for a long time. I have 2 full sets of sheds off him, which is really cool. And just a great end to a story.
Nice way to bookend it. I'll add this. Your shooting ability with the bow is one thing, but then with the camera, that was one of the tricks in season 1, trying to get the hunters set up with a camera and then worrying about their bucks and getting off a good shot. You've become pretty good at this. What are some tips and tricks that you would pass on to people looking to film their hunts?
Just being comfortable with your equipment, because being a bow hunter, you have to limit your movements up in your tree stand. You also have to draw a bow, and to turn on cameras and accessories, it makes it very difficult. So just getting to know your equipment, and not having the camera also where you're drawing and bumping things with your elbow, it's getting used to it is key. So I recommend practicing before you're actually getting out there.
Quick question. Do you ever get bored out there?
Not too often.
Yeah, we see Kohler like sipping on a juice box every now and then, but you're usually pretty dialed in. Is it draining? Like, because there's physical fitness that's involved with this. it can be a slow process at times.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep my mind busy. I've got lots going on, so lots to think about. Or sometimes I just get completely distracted in watching a squirrel or a chickadee or something, and that makes the day go by.
Logan, another successful hunt. Congratulations, my friend. Nicely done, as usual. I can say that now, 5 seasons in. Time now to get into something new, that is trivia with our hunters. This one is excellent. We're going to hear about Heather Wilson, who will be part of the show coming up in the next few days. So let's take a look at trivia. Which hunter had the first kill in season 1?
Oh, I think that was Ryan.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Remember the fingernails?
Heather?
Heather.
Oh yeah, Heather. Yeah, she's the champ at everything.
It's got to be Heather. She kills everything.
Wasn't Heather?
Correct. Yeah. Yes, you did. I don't know. It's a little bit tricky with the dates and everything.
Actually, that's still one of my favorite videos.
Heather's a killer.
Heather's a serial killer.
Kev didn't get that one. You did get that. He didn't get one? Oh. I know, right? There you go. Trivia. Always a lot of fun. I can't remember. I think you did okay. Not that great.
I think I did okay, but for that question, when in doubt, pick Heather.
Pick Heather. That's right. We're going to see Heather Wilson on our next show. Coming up next, we're going to talk to her husband, Kevin Wilson.
Behind the Bow with Kevin Wilson.
Bighorn sheep with a bow, a Dall sheep hunt. And I guess my all-time bucket list hunt is an ibex hunt. In black bear attacks that end up in a fatality, most of those are because the black bear has some kind of encephalitis. So like crazy people kill people, crazy bears kill people. The biggest gear upgrade that I made personally was going to a battery-powered vest, so a heated vest. From October 26th on, I'm looking for those primary scrapes, and I set up over those. I'm not superstitious at all when it comes to my hunting. I don't have any sort of gear that has to be with me each time, or a lucky hat or anything like that. I honestly believe if things are meant to be, they're meant to be. So I just hunt hard, put in my time, and it usually pays off. Understanding anatomy is a huge thing. So understand where the lungs are, understand where the heart is, and limit the distance that you're shooting to what you're fully capable of.
Behind the Bow with Kevin Wilson.
All right, that was Behind the Bow with Kevin Wilson, who joins us now in studio, and Logan Johnson still with us, of course. Kev, give us a little bit of a catch-up since we last talked with you, because like I indicated earlier, when you're here, that means it's good things have happened.
Yeah, good thing for me. I don't have to sit in the cold. But no, I haven't been hunting as much as I'd like to, for sure. My general whitetail tag was filled early. I've been helping Heather get set up on her buck, and yeah, I haven't been hunting as much as I'd like to, for sure.
Now, we will see the hunting you have been doing, which is, again, a very good indicator. But some of the things that are kind of neat that we've seen here on the show is some of the tools of the trade you can implement when you go out there, and that's using Hodag product, and that's something you're a little bit familiar with, correct?
Oh, absolutely. If there's one thing I can tell our viewers, the Hodag products are awesome. They have a hemp rope that basically hangs down like a deer toy is what it really is. You put it kind of where you want the deer to stop or be or spend time, and they're intrigued by it. They play with it with their antlers, they sniff it, smell it, that sort of thing. A licking branch, there's an adapter that you can basically, because one of the problems we have is often there's no scrapes where we really want our shot opportunity. So if you mount one of these and then put a branch and then build a mock scrape, they're fantastic. I haven't used their licking stick yet, but great products.
All right, we're going to see your footage right away here, Kev, from, I will say it, a successful hunt. But what are we looking at right now? A little bit of a tease here.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, this is a nice buck I'm looking at right here, but I didn't see this guy come in. So I'm filming like a rock star on that 140 class. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, this giant shows up, and that was how it worked.
Well, beautiful footage, and then I know you gathered way more, so it's time now to take a look at your successful hunt from this season of Bowzone Live.
I just shot a giant. He's an awesome deer. I was filming a 140, and all of a sudden he just emerged right behind him. I'm pretty sure I didn't see him go down, but the shot looked really good, and I'm pretty sure he's down 50 yards away. Well, it's been a half hour. By the time I get down and get collected, it'll be 45 minutes. I'm pretty sure that was a hard shot, and I'm pretty sure I heard him go down, so we'll go take a look. All right, that's point of impact right there. So we'll see if we can find some blood here. Pretty confident he kicked like a hard shot, and I'm sure I heard him go down right in here, so. Oh, it looks like I was off his trail a little bit, so here he is. There's his blood. A little bit there. Lots of blood there. Oh, there he is. There he is, right there. Oh, yeah! Right on. That's a beautiful buck. Okay, well, Logan killed a smasher yesterday, and being the early season, in fact, what is this, the third day of the season now? I thought, you know what, I gotta sit and see what happens. So I sat and I'm filming a really nice 4x4, and lo and behold, right beside it, this guy comes in, and I just couldn't pass this up. He's a beautiful buck. I'm super stoked. The Hoyt RX-8 did its job. Beautiful shot, actually a hard shot. It only went 40 or 50 yards. So my 2024 whitetail tag is now closed. Right here on Bowzone Live, I don't have to sit during the rut in the cold.
Kevin Wilson wasting no time in Season 5 of Bowzone Live, here in studio with us alongside Logan Johnson. Logan, you have something to say about that?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why Kevin took so long. I mean, you waited all the way till day 3.
It's my second day of hunting, yeah.
Okay, you did all right.
Oh, seal of approval, a little bit of a chirp. I know it's all like everybody love everybody, but some of these chirps are pretty good. You're not mad at Logan for that one, saying it on TV?
No, not at all, man. I don't have to sit in the cold now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're in a good spot.
We're in a good spot. All right. The famous Jackie Moon said, "Everybody love everybody," and that's how we do it here on Bowzone Live. All right, Kev. Great filming as always. I know you're a big proponent for safety as well. What are some things that you want to remind hunters out there when they go?
Yeah, I really want to encourage guys to always use a lifeline and a safety harness. I do hear of people sometimes still not using that equipment, but you know, there's so much good stuff out there. You know, a lifeline's critical, and for those that don't know what it is, it's basically a line that keeps you intact from the time you leave the ground to the time you come back down. And it's there's a Prusik knot with a carabiner, and safety first. That should be the priority.
We were talking too with Logan earlier about filming techniques. What are some things, Logan, that you think you would ask Kevin about his ability to shoot his footage?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot about self-filming, and it is super tough. Like I mentioned, limiting movements up in the tree stand during our hunts, but what would you advise, say, newer hunters or newer filmers when it comes to self-filming.
Well, it's funny because my clip is a bit bumpy. It was my first day in the tree with a camera, but the bottom line is a fluid arm is a priority, and making sure you're familiar with your equipment, but also set up so that when you do have to turn on your camera, you've got time. And you've got time to let the camera run and predict where the deer is, and then, of course, make your shot, draw and make your shot.
Nicely done. Kevin, good information as always. You guys have your prizes, but we want to give a prize pack away to our viewers. Are you ready to score a Bowzone Live prize pack? Head over to Wild TV's Instagram for your chance to win a fantastic prize pack. Scan your screen to enter. There is a lowdown viewer, a Ventura self-heated drinks, along with an Annihilator hat and some broadheads. So there you go. Scan that QR code on your screen. Coming up next, Jason Moss, coach of the Montreal Alouettes, Bowzone Live hunter. He'll be joining us here on Season 5 of Bowzone Live.
With the lowdown viewer, I've been using it lately for my SD cards. I don't run very many traditional trail cams anymore. A lot of them are the cell cams, but I still do have some traditional ones. A lot of times you get it on your phone, you can't see the deer that's in the background standing in the willows, but you get on the lowdown, you can open it up and you can take a good look at what you're looking at and see if there's anything else in the background there. And like I said, it's easy just to have a look in the field and you're in and out, change your card and you go back home.
Welcome back to Bowzone Live. Tom Gazzola, Kevin Wilson, Logan Johnson with you, and another treat for everyone as we're going to touch base with the head coach of the Montreal Alouettes, our dear friend Jason Moss, who unfortunately did not coach in the Grey Cup this year, his team losing in the Eastern Final to the eventual Grey Cup winners. Jason, I'm not going to rub salt in the wound. I'll leave it at that, but I'll say this. It's a bit of a double-edged sword and bittersweet because you not being in the Grey Cup allows us to have more of you on the show. So I'll preface it with that. Just give us an update on how you've been. I know it's kind of tricky because you want to hunt, but at the same time, you want to chase down a Grey Cup. So kind of get us up to speed on everything that's been going on with you.
Yeah, I'd prefer to be have just won a Grey Cup and been chasing bucks afterwards, cups and bucks. There's nothing like that. So unfortunately, like you said, we didn't make it. So I'm home a little bit earlier than expected and excited to get in the bow zone. And it's everyone knows, I mean, I'm a passionate hunter and I love to do it. The last couple of years has been very difficult to find time. But I'm in now, so I'll be here till the end with it and looking forward to getting out there tomorrow.
Kevin, Logan, what do you guys got for Jason?
Yeah, you got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks here to make it happen. So, what do you got on the radar?
Well, Ryan's been fortunate to help me out a little bit, especially out in the West End where I'm not from. So, you know, you got to get your permissions and everything like that. So he's going to help me out a little bit on the west side, and then I'll still have my Strathcona permissions that I've always had, and I'll just hit her hard. I have no cameras out. So I'm just going to go in like I used to when I was really young into hunting and hope for the best kind of thing and really just enjoy my time, to be quite honest with you. After 6 months of nonstop work, I'm looking forward to just being in the bush with nature and trying to hunt as hard as I can, but enjoy my time out there. So a little blind, and I know it's with technology that is out there, you know, you'd prefer to have a little bit of insight to what's out there, but I think every leave I hear crunched, I'm not going to know what's coming, and I think it'll excite me more than anything.
Logan, what do you got for Jason?
Nice. No, I totally love the winging it strategy. I think it's going to work. I've got a really good feeling for you out there. I was totally going to ask you about cameras because if I was in your shoes and, you know, playing football all over the place or coaching football all over the place, I think I'd have cameras set up everywhere and at least have something to come back to. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to ask you, but I know you're winging it. Fingers crossed for you. I can't wait to see what you wind up seeing out there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have the cameras. I was bad about putting them up. Last year I put up a couple, and I had one deer walk by and bump it, and it started to face down for about a month straight. So maybe that's what got me off of doing it this year. I didn't have nearly as much time as I thought I would, so to scout a little bit. But you know, we all grew up kind of, if you have been hunting a long time, you went without technology for so long. So I'm kind of looking forward to be honest with you, just going out there, not knowing what's coming and just enjoying. And I'll enjoy every single moment of it. But there is something to be said. I mean, I'm on their group chat still. And so I see what all the pictures that come through. And I know what it's like to have a cell camera set up to where it's dinging all the time. But honestly, I think that would make it more miserable for me for the 6 months I'm gone. And as much as it would be nice to see him when I get there, I kind of just want to do it this way and hope, like you said, hope for the best.
Hey, Jason, I know you're really, I'll say it, stubborn and determined. And I think that's part of your character as we've gotten to know you over the decades in the CFL. When it comes to conditions, it's going to take a turn for the cold here in the Bowzone. Like for you, I don't think it's going to deter you, but how do you adjust when you get into colder conditions here?
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to it. I think it's a mindset. I think you should, if you're a hunter, you should get excited when the cold weather hits. And I think it's absolutely a mindset, but you have to be prepared. So, you have to dress appropriately, be careful how you get in and out of get into your stand. And then obviously with the safety stuff we have, climbing up the trees, doing all that stuff, it is a little bit different with the cold. Then it just comes down to a mental game. You've got to be able to grind and deal with it. And that's something I pride myself in. I enjoy that part of it. And so I think the colder, the better. I've always loved it when the temperatures drop. And shoot, Montreal, it's been super warm. So anything minus is going to be much cooler for me. And I know it's going to dip worse than that. So I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I think for all hunters, if they have a good mindset about it and prepare for it, it can be a lot of fun being out there when it's like that.
Hey, nobody's doubting you being determined and going in there, whether or not it's cold or warm, and doing everything you can to take down a nice big buck. So glad to have you back on the show. I know it's not the timing that you wanted because you wanted that big, beautiful silver trophy, but didn't happen this year. And everybody here is rooting for you in the tree stand and then back on the football field next season. I look forward to seeing what you have in store for us this year, Jason. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks for having me again. And Kevin and Logan, congrats on your guys' bucks. They're awesome to see. And you guys are such great hunters. So it's always fun to be a part of this.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Jason Moss, tremendous as always. Look forward to seeing what he has in store for us here on Bowzone Live. More Bowzone Live coming up right after this. It's Bowzone Live Season 5. Tom Gazzola inside the Wild TV studios as we roll on. Joined in studio by Kevin Wilson and Logan Johnson. Of course, guys, one thing that we've seen over the course of this show is the group chat that everyone maintains. All the hunters, everyone involved with the show is in on it. And it's kind of neat to see the dynamic, Kev, between everybody. What do you like and what do you think people should know about the group chat and what it actually provides to everyone?
Yeah, our group chat's great. It's just a way for all of our team to kind of keep track of each other, what we're seeing, what we're doing. Everybody knows when you're out hunting, so it's good, especially as you go through the different cycles of early season, mid, and then into the rut.
Right.
Really helpful.
Teamwork is something that maybe it sounds cheesy, but I think teamwork, Logan, is a fair way to describe it too. Why do you think there is such a good support system within the group chat?
I think it's awesome. I mean, we've all developed kind of a friendship over these past couple years, and we're all rooting for each other and cheering each other on and trying, or hoping to see that success from everybody. So if you can add a little tidbit in there like, hey, the deer seem to be more around food, or some of those heavy timber spots might be the ones to watch. It's just definitely to help everyone out, and of course it's a little fun and you can tease each other a little bit too.
Yeah, that does happen. And one guy that jumps in on that sometimes is Jim Thompson, who's joining us now as well. Jim, what do you enjoy most about the group chat with everybody involved, and what kind of things do you take out of it?
Yeah, like Kevin says, it's a good opportunity to get some tips and find out what's happening and what people are having luck with. And also it's a really good time, like Logan says, to kind of kibitz with each other and have a little bit of humor. And, sometimes there can be some pretty good threads about some good conversations there.
It is. It's funny when I miss like 70 chats, and I'm like, what is everybody talking about? There's always a few chuckles in there. We're not going to be laughing about what we are about to see, Jim, but so far this season, what are we going to see from you coming up shortly?
Yeah, I think this pack here is from in early September. Since then, I've done a lot more hunts. My next time I'm on the show, I'll have some pretty cool November footage, but this is in September. I just want to congratulate Kevin and Logan on some nice bucks they got early in the season too. And this one is just some hunting I was doing. I was trying to get this buck, king buck. He's still alive and kicking, and another buck, kind of the prince buck we call him. He's a 5x6 who I got a shot at and almost got opening day, second opening day, but I hit a tree. So otherwise, I'd be sitting in there with those guys all smiley right now. But
hey, your day will come, Jim. Let's have a look at what you've been up to.
That's my lane right there. About 2 deer lengths. I don't expect them to be out more than 20, 25 yards. It's a cool day. We've had a bunch of high heat, like 30-degree weather. Today's like 15, 12 by the time the evening ends. So it's a nice breeze out northwest. We got about an inch of rain this morning. I'm in a spot that's got some nice bucks. It's also got a couple good bulls in too. So I got my little moose tag. Sitting in a stand I never sat before. My son Taylor, he's already tagged on a monster, big Boone and Crockett buck. So fingers crossed, something comes by. You're watching Bowzone. Stay tuned. It's all puffed up. Trying to look impressive for the lady. So I'm back in the stand again, the same stand I was in last night. I had a buck come in, but he came into the bush beside me, and there's lots of leaves, so it's dark. I didn't expect him to come from that direction. He came from the field instead of going to the field. Yeah, so this is the buck I had come in last night. Big frame, actually. He's like a big frame, not super long points, but he's still a beautiful 5x6. I say he'd be well into the 150s. We've been looking after this buck. We saw him last year. He's a big buck. He's a big 4x4. He's got like 14, 15-inch G2s. He's just a cool buck. He's got a frame kind of like a crown almost. So we call him the king buck. Yeah, and that's the king buck. His head's tilted back. He's got about 7-inch brow tines. They're kind of an illusion, but you can see his G2s are like 14 inches. We saw him all summer, but it's like early September now. We haven't had pictures of him now. In the last 2 days, we got pictures of him along the edge of this field. It's a standing wheat field. And so I moved my hanging hut closer to his route that he seems to be moving. So it's a really hot day today, like 30 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna sit the last 2 hours of light, and hopefully he shows up. Well, the sun's going down. Probably about an hour and 20 minutes of legal light left. I'm back where the big 5x6 and the king buck have been hanging their shingles for the last couple months. Saw a picture of him around a few more times this last few days. Haven't seen the king buck for a few days, but they're around here. I mean, it's a big field. It's got lots of bush coverage. You know, we're just needle in the haystack here, trying to figure out where they're moving through. It's a nice spot now. Made the lanes all wider, so and added one more lane. So I think we're set up good if we have a buck come by. So stay tuned. You're watching Bowzone.
Great stuff there from Jim Thompson out in the field. Jim joins us remotely as we roll on here on Bowzone Live. Jim, let's start with your target buck. Have you identified him? What are we looking at right now?
I think if you saw that footage, you saw that I identified my target grouse for the year, and then probably 1 or 2. That's what I'm kind of focused in on. But I did. There's a nice buck that I am trying to get this year. I showed Kevin a couple pictures. Call him the king buck. And then there's another one. He's kind of the prince buck. He's a similar genetics. He's a big 5x6, and that's the one that I had the chance at early on. And he's still around on cameras. That's kind of the ones I've been after right now. There are some dandies around there, and then I hunt a little bit up on my a cabin just outside the Bowzone, and I hunt in the Bowzone quite a bit too. So,
hey, I'll open it up to our other hunters in studio. Kev, Logan, anything you want to ask Jim?
Well, Jim, have you been doing any rattling lately? How's that worked for you?
Yeah, Kev, I have. I've been rattling probably the last 2 weeks, and I've brought in some smaller bucks, no big bucks yet. What I found on the weekend when I was out, I was hunting transition areas, and I found that I was doing some rattling and then some grunting, but when I was sitting quiet, I did a lot of bleeding, and I actually bleeded in 2 bucks. So just doing some doe bleats, the can calls. And I think if you're in an area right now, some of them are wandering and they're coming into that. They weren't big bucks by any means, but but they were kind of coming in to check out the ladies. So
nice, Jim. I wanted to ask, Logan, do you want to jump in really quick? Do you have anything for Jim?
No, I basically just want to check in with you. What I've been noticing on camera, I've still been grinding out there. I've been actually going a lot harder than a lot of people think, considering I've been tagged out for so long, but I'm trying to keep tabs on all my target bucks. Have you found it's kind of been a tougher year for beginning in November, being that it's been kind of mild?
Yeah, I have. Like we had a tremendous number of nice big bucks on camera through September and October, and the beginning of November here, they've been infrequent. I was talking to Kevin too. We both noticed that. And I think it's just the milder weather again. And they're just traveling everywhere because there's nothing to restrict them at all. There's no cold, there's no snow, there's nothing. And so they're moving all over. And, your cameras are good when you're kind of in the early season, when you got them kind of on going to food sources or whatever. But right now they're everywhere. So it's tough to say. But I know with the weather getting cold right away, I think they're going to start popping up on cameras again.
Jim, great stuff. I'm glad you brought up the weather because we're going to take a look at conditions coming up on Bowzone Live right after the break.
I've been shooting Hoyt for 6 years now. This year's bow, the Alpha X and then the RX-8, probably one of the best ones they've made in the past 4. I'm really enjoying this bow. I'm shooting Alpha X this year, the 33. The biggest thing for me with this new bow is the 1/4-inch adjustable modules, which makes a big difference for a lot of hunters. You can 1/4-inch adjust your draw length when you're getting dialed up for the season. If you're looking for a new bow, or at least trying one, I definitely recommend picking up a Hoyt at the shop and giving it a try. It's something special.
We continue on here on Bowzone Live, Season 5. Tom Gazzola inside the Wild TV studios, joined, of course, by Kevin Wilson and Logan Johnson. Guys, it's interesting, and as we start this season off, the conditions are going to change. That's something we're going to watch the weather, and we're going to show some of the weather forecasts coming up here. You're seeing it start to get cold out there, -8 on Tuesday, Wednesday, -11. So not too cold, something that you guys have obviously dealt with being veteran hunters, but how much do conditions change your strategy? What are some tips and tricks you guys would pass along to people that want an edge or an advantage to try to do it the way you guys do? Kev, let's start with you.
Yeah, dressing warm is obviously, it seems kind of an assumption, but really layering up good merino wool undergarments, insulating layer, something that blocks the wind. That's a critical thing. And then quiet clothing, because in the cold, it's loud. Anytime you try to draw a bow, it's really loud. I hunted one time in -32, -33, and every buck that came within 40 yards heard me. So quiet is key.
All right, for you, Logan, any tips that you pass along to people looking to get an edge?
I don't know, but if you're not out there hunting with this cold front rolling in, get in your tree stand. You got to be out there. That's really something that's going to help, especially with the deer movement. At least in some of my cameras, some of my spots, it's been a little quieter with this mild November. So with that rolling in, I'd be excited.
You guys like these conditions that are coming up, obviously, then?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Persistence, Logan, they just get out there. All right, so some tips for some of the best passing along to you. Now we're going to touch base with another great hunter, Keith MacDonald. Check out some of the highlights he's had over the last few years with us here on Bowzone Live.
Hey, I'm Keith MacDonald. I'm from Enoch Cree Nation here in Treaty 6 territory.
Is that going to work?
I hope so. We're hunters, we're not engineers. The reason why I love hunting in the Bowzone is because I have I'm very intimate with my land. I grew up here. I was born and raised in Enoch Cree Nation. come from a traditional hunting family. Both my grandfathers were traditional fishermen and hunters. My dad was a big hunter. If you're not learning, you're not paying enough attention. Even just having a deer bust you is enough to give you that lesson for the next time. Okay, now you know. Edmonton Bowzone November whitetail rut hunt was the #2 hardest hunt in Canada, right behind the Rocky Mountain Ram. So you think about it, we're sitting 10 hours a day.
Now from his tree stand, Keith MacDonald joining us. Keith, hey, you've quickly become a fan favorite here on Bowzone Live.
We're not here to settle for anything small. We're not here to settle for any young deer. I'm here to kill an old giant deer for Bowzone Live. So this morning I was in there, it was a hot doe. I seen 7 bucks altogether. If you can fool one of those guys, you've done something right. Yeah, I'm Keith MacDonald. I am the owner and operator of Enoch Trophy Whitetails.
Keith, great to see you, pal. It's been a while. What have you been up to? You did so good last year as my co-host. We had to bring you back. You love it, right? Tell me you love it.
It's always a pleasure being here with you.
It's great having you in here.
I put that picture on there and I said, you guys think I could grunt this guy off of her?
And I know that in this game, all it takes is 5 seconds and the whole world changes. Oh, I persevered. My shot was a little high, but that's all right. He went down. He's dead now. He died quickly. There he is. Bowzone Live, right at you. Enoch Cree Nation, boys and girls. Woo-wee. You know, you work hard for this kind of stuff. All season, setting stands, putting cameras.
I think that smile says it all. You still got that smile on your face. Oh, that is great stuff. Look at all those young guys in that package there. We're all a little older, a little wiser into season 4. Great stuff. Great stuff there from Keith MacDonald. Love talking with Keith and looking forward to seeing him on an upcoming show.
If I was going to talk about Wild TV Plus, I would say that it's 20 years of aggregated content, so a culmination of all the shows that we've seen for 20 years on Wild TV, all those great shows, all those great producers. If you want to check out Bowzone Live, you can check out every season on the app. On the app, there's a live streaming channel, so you can watch Wild TV anywhere. You can cast it to your TV from wherever you are and watch the channel. So if you haven't checked out the Wild TV app, I would suggest to do it. It's got everything you'll ever need and ever want in there. We're making it better every day. And yeah, really impressed with the app. I think it's a great little product, so get the app today.
Great stuff there from Ryan Kohler. And yes, indeed, check out Wild TV Plus. Thousands of hours of fantastic content at your fingertips. And you can check out our great shows over the years as we're into season 5 of Bowzone Live. We've had a lot of fun on this show, and that continues this November as well. Tom Gazzola live inside the Wild TV studios with Kevin Wilson and Logan Johnson. Guys, we have our own little Wild TV Bowzone Live family. We're bringing in more family, literally, into the show. I know you've got Heather. We've got Heather here. You've got Mike Bouchon.
Yeah, well, everyone has someone, and I'm stuck with Mike.
Yeah. You've got the Kohlers, so you're stuck with Mike. But the Berg family, we've got Dad Kevin, and then we've got Adam and Brooke as well. Pretty cool to have them on board. Kevin, what can you tell us about the Berg family?
You know, they're a great family. I'm excited to see what they do this year. You know, they're involved, quite heavily involved in the archery world, both competitively. Adam's a technician at one of the shops, and yeah, they're really accomplished bow hunters. I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, same here. Logan, anything you want to add before we go behind the bow with Brooke?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet at least most of them. I know Adam from the shop, but I know they're experienced hunters, great shooters. If you're a deer in their area, you probably want to run away.
Well said. Great to have a literal family joining our family here at Bowzone Live. And we mentioned Kevin, Adam, and Brooke. So we're going to go behind the bow right now with Brooke Berg.
Behind the Bow with Brooke Berg.
Probably hunting antelope, southern Alberta, hunting whitetail and mule deer, southern Alberta. Cold November Alberta hunts when the weather is -20 and the wind is blowing in your face. Gathering all my equipment beforehand, making sure I have like my bow release, making sure that I'm warm enough. I have heated hand warmers and heated toe pads. My one tip or trick is an electric hand warmer. It's my favorite thing. I put it inside my muff and it keeps my hands nice and warm and it never dies. My one piece of advice for a new bow hunter would be to be patient. That's it. So my name's Brooke Berg. I am 19 years old. I've been hunting for as long as I can remember with my dad. As of right now, I'm working as a dental assistant, and I'm really excited to see if I have any luck this season.
Behind the Bow with Brooke Berg.
All right, great stuff there as we wind down our second episode of Bowzone Live Season 5. Great to catch up with some people, meet some new faces, and I know we're going to be seeing more and more from them. We've got familiar faces in studio. We've got Kevin Wilson and Logan Johnson. Guys, you guys have tagged out. We saw your stories. Tremendous stuff. Is it, reassuring, relieving to be done this early? You guys are giggling and laughing between segments here. What can you say about what we've seen and how you're going to approach the next couple of weeks here?
I don't know. I guess I'll start.
Lots of craft beer. That's what you're going to start
Yeah,
with.
I think I'm going to be doing a lot of this by a nice warm fire. I hope it gets really cold these last couple weeks. Just kidding. But
Nice.
honestly, cold front's moving in. The hunters are going to be in the stands, and everyone else should be. I'm excited to watch this unfold.
Nice. Kev?
Yeah, for sure. Same thing. I'm quite happy to be a spectator at this point, but I'm going to still be going after a mule deer myself in the bow zone, and maybe even a moose if I can get a chance at a moose. But yeah, excited to see what they come up with.
Hey, Heather has been busy as well. She was the first one to ever take down a buck on this show 4 years ago. We're into season 5 now, and we're going to be seeing some stuff from her. We're also going to be catching up with Taylor Thompson. I know Zach Brown's also involved. It's going to be a lot of fun. So how's Heather right now in terms of game planning?
She's doing good. She's got her whitetail. She's got a mule deer. She's in good shape. So she's trying to get a moose as well.
There we go. We got Taylor Thompson there getting all set up. He had a great hunt, so we're going to be seeing him in the next couple of days. Yeah, there's some great footage there for our upcoming episode. Boys, great work as always. Pleasure to have you in here as well.
You as well.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our second episode of Season 5 of Bowzone Live for Logan Johnson and Kevin Wilson. I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you for watching, as always, as we are well into Season 5 of Bowzone Live. See you next time.
Bowzone Live is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Aventura, Annihilator, Bronc Beer, Hex, Lone Wolf Taxidermy, Lowdown Viewer, Moultrie Products, Onyx Maps, Portable Winch Co., Timber Stoves, and Wild TV Plus.